Now for more discussion on the Brexit, we're joined in the studio by Jiang Shixue, Deputy Chief of European Studies at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Mr. Jiang, thank you so much for joining us. Now we know that the debate about the UK's membership has been long running, and I think it's set on edge today over the result of that very watched over referendum. Just like our UK correspondent Richard Bestick said over there, it highlights often troubled relationship between the United Kingdom and what should we look out for this time?
Well, I would say that if you compare with the past, we can see several differences. First of all, compared with 40 years ago, people in the UK did not know much about the benefits and the costs of the so-called membership in the EC. And they didn't know the taste of the watermelon. But now, 40 years later, they know the taste of this kind of watermelon. So it's sweet or it's not. And I believe that people will consider carefully when they cast their vote. And also nowadays, I think in terms of economic relationship and also political ties, the UK has deep links with the EU. Okay? And finally, I will say that the so-called political confrontation between the political parties and the political elites are more fierce. And we know that there is a famous party called UKIP. This UKIP party fights against EU membership. It was founded in 1993. So compared with the past, we can see these are three major differences.
Mr. Jiang, if the UK votes to leave the European Union, that could change the relationship between the United Kingdom and many parts of the world. Let's talk about the United Kingdom and China. If that's the scenario, if that happens, how would that change the relationship between the UK and China, both politically and economically?
Well, in the political field, I don't see any major changes between our two countries. And not long ago, the two sides set up the so-called global comprehensive strategic partnership. So I believe that in the future, just whether the UK will remain in the EU or not, this kind of strategic partnership will continue to move on forward. But in the so-called economic field, I would say there should be some important changes. In the trade field, I would say that there should be more trade opportunities, because for China there will be trade creation, and for the EU there will be trade diversion. Also, possibly in the future, China and the UK can talk about the possibility of signing an FTA. And nowadays, in the EU, the UK cannot have the right to sign any FTA with any countries. But as you know, that every coin has two sides. So we have to say that there are some kind of costs or some kind of negative effect. Well, I would say that so if the UK leaves the EU, it will become less sexy. So Chinese investment, well, I don't think there should be a big growth for Chinese investment. There should be more investment in the UK, but we cannot say that it should be a big increase. And finally, I would say that the world economy will be affected. So China-UK relationship will see sides of kind of benefits and the costs.
Interesting. Mr. Jiang, thank you so much for your insights.